We have Nat Torkington now, one of your Internet New Zealand councillors, who's going to give a bit of a scene setting before morning tea, and we'll readjust the timings for morning tea. I'll let you know when Nat's finished as to how we'll keep going from there.
Thanks all. So I really felt sorry for the poor chap who had to follow Emma yesterday, Neil. He had a really hard job because there was this amazing, searing, open, honest, trusting story from Emma that's almost impossible to follow. And I, on the other hand, am blessed because I'm following two politicians. So I'm going to have to really suck to screw this up. I am a Internet New Zealand councillor. I'm a recovering geek. Thank you very much. My name is Nat Torkington. I'm a recovering geek. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about what I hope you'll get out of today and what's in store for you. So I come back again and again to this fantastic quote from science fiction writer William Gibson: "The future is here, it's just not evenly distributed yet." And nowhere is that more obvious than here, because we've brought together people from a whole variety of backgrounds. The goal is not to get the geeks talking about the future of the internet, because that has always happened. Geeks will find it very easy to talk about the future of the internet. The goal is to expand beyond the geek core and start involving everybody who is touched by the internet, everybody whose jobs, whose lives, whose communications with family, whose communications with loved ones are, well, that assumes that you're family, not your loved ones. All of those folks together in a room to talk about the issues that they have in common. And you started that yesterday, it was fantastic. I do hope that you will continue doing that today. Because everything that the internet has touched, it has changed. From medicine, you heard about in the sessions yesterday, to things that are as mundane and unexciting as taxi cabs. You know, there is now, there's an app for that, or there's a website for that, or there's a enterprise scalable private cloud solution for that, right? Like it or not, that internet thing is now deeply entwined in all of our lives. So we have an interest in making sure that it's done right. Not just that Crown Fibre doesn't screw it up and create another monopoly with outrageous prices and no competition, but that Hollywood doesn't break our internet for their benefit, that all our families have the same opportunity to connect and communicate, that all of our businesses can hook onto this new infrastructure and participate. And so at Internet New Zealand, where we work to keep the internet open and uncapturable, we work on specific projects with groups like NetSafe and 2ANZ, with whom we have much in common. NetHui is where we make a space to step beyond those groups and make an open space for everyone to come along and join in and hear and learn and share. So you can see that in the conversations that have been had and in the conversations that we're going to have, there's this amazing diversity of topics. That if you'd talk to people about how the internet was changing things in 1990, there would have been a very small group of people who'd even heard of it, and an even smaller group whose lives had been transformed by it. And now, 20 years on, that is substantially different. So today we're going to hear about openness, about how the incredible sharing and copying machine that is the internet can be harnessed for good things. We're talking about globalization. We mentioned yesterday, right? The internet is like a country. I feel like the transactions that I perform on the internet happen somewhere that aren't in my backyard on my computer, and they aren't on the other guy's computer. They are somewhere else, this shared common space, and yet it's not a country with its own laws. We'll talk about UFB, we'll talk about scams and cybersecurity, human rights. And there's a track running through today on education, how education can seize the opportunities of the internet. I'm a big groupie for the educators because they understand so much more about people and so much more about the opportunities of the internet than I think in many ways even I, a geek who's been on it for years, did. They're grappling with people and they're grappling with the human consequences of this technology all the time. Now you'll notice that we don't promise deliverables and outcomes. There's no sign-up sheet for the 10-point plan. We're not producing a 5-year plan at the end of this. We're not building something. This isn't a bunch of elites in a room deciding what's right and then going off to do it. Right? This is about finding groups who have the same issues that you have, about learning more about those issues with the people that you have them in common with, and then understanding those who differ in opinion from yourself. So any actions that will happen as a result of NetHui will be taken after the event. They will be your collaborations to make, to pick up and to run with. So that means that you're going to have to network like a demon in the breaks, and you're going to have to speak up in the sessions. So in sessions, I particularly hope that you will share your experiences with the room. And if, like me, you're a geek, I hope that you'll spend more time listening to the others than talking. We geeks have had a lot of opportunity to steer the future of the internet. It's lovely to hear from the folks whose perspectives are different from ours. I hope you'll make that room. So in New Zealand, I'll end with, I don't think we have a lot of shared culture that I find terribly profound. We're a very diverse nation that doesn't have a long philosophical history. You know, neck minute, give me a break. Always blow on the pie. Okay, there's something there. You know, there is a philosophical thought there. But I think our greatest asset is that you all know the answer when I ask the simple question, right? And as we live that today, and as we go back to our lives with the knowledge and the contexts we've built this week, I hope that you will continue to recognise and embody that and use it. You know the answer to this question. What is the most important thing? Hei tangata, hei tangata, hei tangata. The people, the people, the people. Thank you and have an excellent break and an excellent NetHui.
Okay, we have run on a little bit, so what we're going to do is we're going to have your morning tea. We're going to push the next sessions back 10 minutes so that they will start at 11:20. We'll make up that time during lunch. Just before we go to morning tea, I just need to tell you something about Wi-Fi. I'm going to pass on the information. I'm not available for supplementary questions because I will not be able to answer them. But I can tell you that in terms of Wi-Fi issues that you have been experiencing, Wi-Fi is working so long as you are connected to the nearest AP. What is assumed that people are associating with one AP and then moving out of range. There are 3 APs installed on level 5. There is a separate SSID for each AP, and this allows you to choose the strongest one to where you currently are. They are named NetHui-Wi-Fi 1 through 3. I hope that makes sense to you. But I at least received it on my email, so I'm quite proud of that. Please enjoy your morning tea, and again, those next breakout sessions will be starting at 11:20. Thank you.